Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." On Palm Sunday 2017, Nassim Fahim, the guard at St. Mark's Cathedral in Alexandria, redirected a suicide bomber who then detonated his bomb. Fahim was most likely the first to die in the blast, but was responsible for saving the lives of many inside the church by redirecting the terrorist. When interviewed in their home, surrounded by children, Fahim's widow said that she was telling the perpetrator that she forgave him. The interviewer and his audience were visibly stunned and marveled at the response. Where does the power of forgiveness come from? Forgiveness lies at the heart of this strange kingdom. Jesus had been betrayed by one of his own disciples. He'd been arrested, interrogated, and tried with falsified evidence. Peter, who was his most vocal supporter, denied him. He'd been whipped profusely, mocked with profanity, and paraded around as a laughing stock, a fake king with a crown of thorns on his head. Not only that, but he'd been forced to carry the very instrument of his own execution on his back. If we imagine ourselves in Jesus' position, looking down at the crowd whose schemes and strategies had put us there, what would our first words be? Would they be words of mercy and grace? The words that fell from Jesus' parched lips were, "Father, forgive them." Instead of asking God to give his killers their just deserts, Jesus asked him to bestow complete forgiveness on them. Jesus interceded on behalf of the people who were torturing him. And at Golgotha, he modeled the words he had shared again and again in his earthly ministry. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. And that's what he's still doing more than 2,000 years later, empowering us to forgive. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing. His last words were a prayer. He could have prayed, Father, forgive them their sins. Instead, the connotation seems different, more gentle, more human. Jesus recognized that they were unknowing. At the cross, there is the strangest and most beautiful encounter, a once-for-all meeting of human beings at our worst and God at his best. Father, forgive them. They're doing the best they know how. And by placing ourselves within the loving mercy of these words, we are released with the most extraordinary grace. Now is a great moment to ask God to bring to mind anything ugly you'd like to be rid of, failures, shortcomings, bad attitudes, messed up relationships. And in repentance and gratitude, learn from Jesus to forgive as he forgave.